Good morning.
Good morning.
From the Banana Grove.
And we are going to be reading today from 1 Corinthians chapter 8.
Not my favourite chapter, Sam.
It's not my favourite either. It's not very inspiring. There's not a lot of meat to get out of talking about meat.
No.
But we'll do our best, and we'll be interested to hear your thoughts on it.
You read the first verse.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth.
And if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing yet as he ought to know.
But if any man love God, the same is known of him.
As concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other God but one.
For though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many and lords many,
But to us there is but one God, the Father of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Lord, Jesus Christ, by whom are all things, and we by him.
howbeit there is not in every man that knowledge. For some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto an idol, and their conscience being weak is defiled.
But meat commandeth us not to God, for neither if we eat are we the better, neither if we eat not are we the worse.
But take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak.
For if any man see thee, which hast knowledge, sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him which is weak be emboldened to eat those things which are offered to idols?
And through thy knowledge shall the weak brother perish, for whom Christ died.
But when ye sin so against the brethren, and wound their weak conscience, ye sin against God.
Or Christ.
Oh, Christ. Yes, against Christ.
Wherefore, if a meat make my brother to offend, I will eat no flesh while the world standeth, lest I make my brother to offend.
Do you see what we mean? It's a tricky one. We don't see idols,
And-
sacrifices being made to idols, and
No, I guess not in an obvious way. I'm sure it does happen in
Yeah.
some places.
yeah.
I mean, we all know the Catholic religion has a lot of rituals to do with food, I guess. Good Friday, where they don't eat meat. Giving foods up for Lent.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not something that God is asking us to do. So what is Paul talking about here, Jess?
Well, he's reminding us to not cause a stumbling block for those around us that could be seeing these things as very important. So those, he calls them that are weak.
Yeah.
So we need to be mindful and have wisdom and not be puffed up in our knowledge of, Paul said you can eat all things with thanksgiving,
Right.
which is true.
Yep.
But instead of doing that in a puffing up way,
Yep.
we use charity and are kind to the other person, and just don't push your pants our own way.
Yeah. So if we were to go to a Catholic person's house on Good Friday and
Right.
they gave us fish to eat,
Right.
we'd just go, okay, cool, thanks, I'll eat the fish, whatever.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to make a big deal about saying, oh, well, this isn't a commandment. Is that right?
Well, I think it's a tricky one in our culture because it doesn't seem as obvious. If you travel to a different country, we lost it. Oh, we're back. If you travel to a different country and you can see, I mean, I went to Bali, I've seen like incense burning and
Altars,
sacrifices all over the place, but this is religion. God actually hates this kind of religion.
Yeah.
This is evil and not of God.
Yeah.
And I think it also depends who we're associating with too, right? We're called to be the light. We're called to share the truth with people. So for sure, we should speak the truth in love.
Yeah.
But when it comes to us physically eating something, if it has been given to an idol, like a worshipy,
Yeah.
sacrificey thing, we're not to have to worry about it.
No, we're not going to say, I'm not eating that because you've sacrificed to an idol, because we know, and that's what
means
Paul's
nothing.
telling us, it means nothing.
Yeah.
These little g gods and lords aren't God.
No, they're not.
So sacrifice to them all you want. It's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Or worse than nothing. It's doing evil if you're... That's another story.
Condoning that. Yeah, look, it's amazing what you can get out of a chapter. It's amazing when you read it, you go, what is going on here? How am I practically... Sometimes you're not practically meant to be able to get something out of it either.
But we read it anyway.
That's right. And Biff is agreeing with us. We're to eat things with Thanksgiving. Full stop. So as you're eating today, say a little prayer. Thank the Lord for food and nourishment. But most of all, we're not to live on bread alone.
Oh, but by every word
that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
Great.
So great to see you today. We can still see you a little bit.
Thanks for joining us from the Banana Grove.
Have a super duper day.
See you tomorrow for Corinthians chapter 9. Bye.